Hi everybody, I'm Josh.
And I'm Heather, and we are from Try Hard Enthusiast on Instagram. And this is pickup video number 5.
The fourth one still hasn't come out yet. So
That's it. I still haven't edited that one.
You'll see it before you see this, though.
Yeah. But we went on a big video game hunting trip yesterday. We drove down to Virginia Beach and Chesapeake, Virginia. Went to 4 different stores while we were down there. It's good. You don't gotta worry about it. But we went to 4 different stores while we were down there. And then also in this video we will have a couple of mail-in packages that came in before we went on the trip. Just to kind of shove them in here, get them in here. But I guess we will start with the first store. So we went to, like I said, we went to 4 different stores. We went to 2 Video Game Heaven stores. And we went to another store called Cool Stuff, which is in the same grouping with Video Game Heaven. And the 4th store is Tower of Games, which is actually more of a board game store than a video game store.
But they do have some video game stuff.
Yes. I'm just going to shove him there right now. So from the first store, do you want to go first since you just have the...
Okay, so the first store was the Video Game Heaven location.
I can't remember what part of Virginia Beach, but it's almost out by the amphitheater, if you know the area.
So the Video Game Heaven locations and the Cool Stuff location have a pretty good mix of video games, pretty much just straight
video games, figures,
pop culture,
weed stuff.
Yes. It has some manga too, didn't it? In the one, a little bit.
In the Cool Stuff.
Yeah. I didn't get any video games from Video Game Heaven, but I did get a really cool figure set. I'm a big fan of Dragon Ball, always have been. So I picked up a Tag Fighter set, which is 2 figures. It's hold this. It's Goku and Vegeta. And this is actually from the Dragon Ball Super Broly movie. What's cool about these figures, what made me want to pick them up, is that they actually, even though they're separate figures, they can go in the same stand and they make a really cool pose
we'll
of them doing their signature attacks at the same time, which is really cool.
Insert a clip of them while we're talking, that way you can get a good look at them.
They're a little wobbly on the stand, so I don't want to hold them up.
A little.
But they're really cool. They're not like crazy high quality statues. They are a cheaper brand, but they look pretty good. So,
yeah, definitely.
They had some very high quality statues in some of these stores. I can't afford them.
But I'll definitely say even the cheaper stuff, like everything in there looked really good. There wasn't any really chintzy, like, why would you have that in a store kind of? No.
Even like the Tower of Games, they had one in there that I would love to have. It was Carnage. It was like $800. I'm not doing that.
No, you're no fun. Alright, well, I did get a couple games. We did get a really good variety, I would say, of different genres, different systems while we were out. And that was the awesome thing, was a lot of the stuff we wouldn't find in our area. Our area is so dry. We've got pretty much 2 stores other than GameStop that you can go shop at. But the
in our entire state that we know of.
Yeah. So the first game that I got, there we go, it's Shin Megami Tensei Strange Journey. There we go. And it is complete. I mean, this one I've noticed online, it's really started to shoot up in price. So I've been wanting to add it to the collection, try to get most, if not all, of the handheld games. And then for PS1, got Digimon World 3. This is also complete. I mean, obviously it's got the case art. Yeah, she's over there.
Our dog's in there right now.
But this is another series that I want to try to get the rest of the games of. I want to play the first one, but I've never really been into the first one. It would just be to play it for ha-has, because it's... The first one's brutally hard. just because the mechanics are kind of out there. And then I picked up a platforming game for the PS2, and that is Tokobot. Make sure he's in focus. Yep. And this one, the first game is actually a PSP game, and this is just a port with some extra stuff. It is complete with registration card. And then the last game I bought, I did not own this specific game as a kid. I owned the Game Gear version of it. But I picked up Garfield Caught in the Act. This one is one of the few ones that we bought that is not complete. But this is, I mean, I'm not really big for like these kinds of games based off of cartoons and
TV shows.
TV shows. But this is from my childhood. It was a lot of fun. And I know some of the levels.
It's Garfield.
Yeah, and some of the levels are supposed to be different between the two, so I figured that'd be fun. Well, the second store that we went to is literally maybe like 5 minutes down the road. Was the Cool Stuff location, which in there I don't really feel like they had as much video games.
No, they had a lot more pop culture stuff.
A lot more DVDs.
A lot of figures.
Like, if you didn't notice,
they had a lot more of the high quality figures that were ranging in that 100+ categories.
Yeah. But that one whole wall that we really didn't go on, that was all DVDs, and then the other side was all Blu-ray.
They had manga, they had board games, they had D&D stuff.
It was just, it was a store full of cool stuff.
Yes, definitely full of cool stuff.
But I'll go first with this one. We can go back and forth. It'll work out. So the first one that I got was Photo Showdown, which is one of 5 DSi games. And I'm actually not sure if this is sealed originally or if this is a reseal. But it does have a pretty gnarly tear right there, so I'll probably end up taking the seal off of it anyways. But I just wanted to own an actual, like, DSi game. Thought that'd be pretty cool.
My first game that I got from there is a PSP game, which is Metal Gear Acid. I can't really see the title because it has a sticker on it. But...
Where's the side? Hold it. No? I mean, like, in the middle, between us. Ding ding.
Yeah. Anyway, I have just about every Metal Gear game / variant of the game released. Never played these, never really played a PSP before in my life, so I was happy to add those.
That's interesting. Interesting series. Might as well do the other one too.
Oh yeah. Also, the same store got the second one, Metal Gear Acid 2. They also had
Portable Ops, I think is
Metal Gear graphic novel. I didn't grab it. I'm not sure why I didn't pick it up, but
try not to spend too much.
Yeah, it was the most expensive one out of the 3, and I just didn't. I was already buying enough.
So the way they had the store set up, or at least Cool Stuff had most of anything over $10, it seemed, was inside the cabinets, and anything below were just in bins. Whereas with Video Game Heaven, all of their stores were locked behind cabinets except for, I want to say it was like maybe $8 and under. They didn't have as many in little bins. But in this one, managed to find Shenmue 2, just chilling in the bin. And it does actually have the movie in it, which is pretty cool.
We need to watch that.
But I figured we have Shenmue 3, we have the first one on the Dreamcast, we just didn't have the second game.
And my third one, again, another PSP game, for some reason, is Secret Agent Clank. Pretty sure we actually have just the UMD of this, but it's cool to get the full, and it is complete with, all 3 of these were complete. It's cool to get the actual case and everything.
And that one you found in the bin, didn't you?
Yeah, we had the people getting our games out of the glass cabinets, and I looked down and this was sitting there. I was like, ooh, that's cool.
Yeah. I ignored it because, I mean, I'm pretty sure we had it, but just loose.
I'm a huge fan of the Ratchet & Clank series. I've played every single one. Well, I didn't play the PS3 ones because didn't have a PS3 then. I have them. We are gonna be doing a Let's Play on those at some point, which would be fun to add this to that.
Probably do it before the new
And I'm
one comes out.
excited about the PS5 version. That was definitely my little childhood giddy yay when they showed that off.
Another one that I found in the bin was Sega GT 2002, but it is also, well, I'm not sure if they're all like this, but it has Jet Set Radio Future as a double. And actually, I just noticed that this has not for resale limited edition package. So, I imagine this was just a pack-in with the Xbox. But it does have both manuals. It is complete.
Both games are on one disc.
Yes.
Which is interesting.
And I've always just been interested in Jet Set Radio. It's not a game I ever got into because I never had a Dreamcast. But.
Alright. So, my next game is a cheap game, but I played this as a kid on PS2, loved it. Been getting the other variants of this series, and that is the Spy Hunter series. This is Spy Hunter 2 on the Xbox. It's a fun little arcadey game.
It was cheap.
Yeah. You drive a car that has guns and can turn into other different vehicles. It's interesting.
Next, no trip is complete without a RPG, so picked up Valkyrie Profile 2 for the PS2. Complete. It's kind of funny because GameCore has had 2 copies of this floating around their store forever, but the one that's not inside the glass cabinet has a reprinted front, and the one in the glass cabinet just looks like butt. So I've never bought it. So I was happy to actually find a decent looking copy of it.
I gotta be careful with this one because I'm surprised this case is actually intact. It's rare to find these intact. My next game, again, childhood nostalgia. Played this all the time in the arcades. Never played the Saturn version, but it's gonna be fun. We need to get some light guns.
We do.
This is one of the big light gun games from arcade history, and that is Virtua Cop 2. It is complete. Like I said, the case, if I can carefully open this.
You baby those cases so much.
These things break so easily.
Yeah.
No, it's like that screen froze.
Nah, it's good.
I'm really looking forward to popping this in the Saturn and playing it, because these games are just a lot of fun. They're corny, but they're fun.
They are arcade style.
Yes.
Anyways. So the last game that I picked up at Cool Stuff was Cross Edge for the PS3. It's a RPG, but it's more of a strategy / grid style RPG, but it has a whole bunch of different characters in it. Like I know there's characters from Disgaea, Darkstalkers. Not sure what some of these other characters are from, honestly. I just know that she's from Darkstalkers. But yeah, it's just one that I've had on my radar for a while.
Looks like a lot of fun.
Yeah. I mean, it's going to be interesting. Anytime you have Etna in a game.
Anytime you have crossover characters in a game, that's not Smash Brothers. It's interesting.
Yeah.
Not that Smash Brothers is interesting. It's just...
It's got to be kind of PC, whereas with...
These do not.
Yeah. Alright, and the third store that we went to was Tower of Games. We literally just did a nice big old, almost like a check mark shape from one store to the next, which was pretty cool. We didn't have to do too much driving between stores.
And again, this store is primarily a board game store.
Lots of Warhammer.
They had a lot of Warhammer. It was really cool. Like,
they had one whole room that just had multiple tables, like
with
pool tables,
figures, and just like dioramas of stuff. It was awesome looking. I could never paint those figures in the quality that they paint those figures, because
I'm too shaky.
They're like this big. And the detail was amazing. But it was cool to walk through there. the section of video games was very small,
Very small.
but they had some quality stuff in there.
They did.
Surprisingly.
We just had to weed through it because I don't know if they rearranged their store at one point, but I think those video games used to be right up by the windows because a lot of the stuff was super, super sun faded.
Yeah, there was a couple in there that were like, "Oh, this is really good," and then it's like, that's so damaged from the sun that it wasn't worth getting.
Yeah.
Which is a shame because there was one, was it 3DS game?
Yeah, but that was also they had a copy of Digimon World DS, but they wanted $62 for it, and that's way too high for that game.
And the artwork was ruined
Yeah.
from sun fading. Like,
But one game that I did happen to find over there was surprisingly a complete in box copy of Bomberman Max. I mean, this is not often that you find a whole Game Boy, or did I say Game Boy Advance? Game Boy Color. But either way, whole Game Boy boxes that aren't crushed or already pre-flattened out. And believe it or not, it is like
it's complete.
fully complete. All the inserts and everything. So that was pretty cool. I couldn't pass that up.
Yep.
You want me to do another one? You want to go?
I'll do this one.
Go ahead.
So, first thing I saw as soon as I walked in the store was something I didn't know existed. Apparently it was a Kickstarter. And that is Mega Man, the board game.
Which that's so cool. I'm sorry.
It is amazing.
It even has little figures inside, which is great.
Sadly, I took it apart, or opened it up to make sure everything was in there. One of the health spinners does have a broken wheel. Not a big deal.
But that's it.
I mean...
And we got that for what, 40 bucks?
40 bucks.
Yeah, and...
I mean, other than that, it appears to be complete.
I mean, those
It's
are
just cool.
going for like 80 bucks online right now.
And there's expansion packs to it that I feel like I need to get now.
Which are not that expensive. It's only
No.
like maybe 20 bucks for the expansion pack.
But it's just a really cool concept, and I like how they did the board.
Because essentially it's like a normal game, right?
Yeah, it's... You have a grid that you move around, and as you get to like the boss levels, you go into another grid where you basically go through the stage to get to the boss, and then you fight the boss.
Well, not even that, but those grids, you can put them in whatever order
Yeah.
you want.
It's really cool.
Another game that I picked up, which it's just more or less to make our copy a little bit better.
Yeah, just an upgrade.
Yeah, just Star Ocean for the PS1. I think the manual on this... Actually, no, the manual's pretty good. It's mostly just the case and the manual that I'll be taking from this, and then trading the other games in somewhere else.
I thought these discs were better.
These discs are they?
I thought you said they were.
Yeah, so then never mind.
Yeah.
I lied. So
our
it's the
copy
case.
had some top scratches on the discs.
They're really small.
But the case was okay.
Yeah, the case was okay.
Yeah.
They're really small, but I still wanted to get an upgrade for it. Do you want me to go?
We'll do this last.
Okay. So, honestly, for both of our, like, finds of the day, maybe, or finds of this store, well, definitely finds of the store.
This is definitely find of the day for me.
Yeah. But I found a copy of Deception 3 for the PS1. And this is a game where you more or less set traps and you have to lead people into. It got really big again on the PS Vita and the PS4 and the PS3, but I've been trying to track down the older ones. And this is complete. Technically, price chart says it's supposed to be like $50. So definitely got this at a steal.
Yeah,
same with...
That's just a really fun game to see how elaborate you can get with the traps and
Yeah.
setting up the trap so that one trap leads to another trap, to another trap, to another trap. Alright. So within the store, they had their video games in like a little spot on their shelf, but then behind, if you're facing that shelf, they had a glass case.
Very small one.
That had like maybe 10 games in it and a box of Game Boy stuff that didn't have anything in it.
Yeah.
I immediately saw this because I've had this as a kid along with the fourth one, and I've always loved this series. A lot of people, it's a little hit or miss because A couple of these games are really good. A couple of them go in weird directions. The fourth one's definitely the best one, but it caught my attention because it had the case. And then we looked up the price and we're like, we need to look at this.
See if it's complete or not.
Which, unfortunately, it's not fully complete because
There's a
hint book apparently is supposed to be included. It's not included. It took us, what, like 20 minutes to actually find it on eBay?
Yeah, well, no.
Or something like...
It was a sold listing on eBay, but most of the listings right now on eBay that as complete, it is literally just cartridge, manual, and case.
Yeah, the hint book apparently is really hard to find, so it's a bummer it wasn't in here, but it's still an amazing deal. But it is Phantasy Star 2 on the Genesis. Like I said, it is complete, minus that hint book. Extremely clean.
Yeah, like that cartridge.
I mean, the manual has a little bit of wear, but the cartridge
doesn't look like it's been touched.
It's just immaculate.
And it's missing the hang tag, but
they usually are. Yeah, this is definitely my find of the day from this trip.
Agree. Just because it's. I mean,
I was excited about it, but when they pulled it out, as soon as I opened it, saw the manual, I'm like, I'll take it.
I mean, we usually don't find steals like this anymore. Period. Ever. So.
All right.
So the last store on our trip was another video game heaven. This one ended up being in Chesapeake. So
and it was the smaller of the ones.
Yeah, it's definitely much smaller. I don't feel like they had as much memorabilia.
No, they had mostly all games.
Yeah.
They had a lot of really good things, just not stuff we wanted to put money down on. They had a copy of Chrono Trigger, but
that was wrecked.
The damage was not worth it. Like half the label was gone, and they still wanted $100 for it.
And what I noticed about most of the stores that we went to is they really didn't have that many consoles. They mostly just had handhelds out. So I don't know if they actually. I assume they sell consoles, but I feel like it's something that you'd have to ask them about.
Yeah.
The last store did have
a
couple, which. The price of the PlayStation TV alone blew my mind, but...
So, the only game I picked up in this store, yeah. She wants to play this. I don't know if I want to.
I know you want to.
I kind of do. So I'm a huge fan of From Software, which we were told this is From Software, but
I have to do some looking into it.
I have to do some looking into. It's like one of their early games, but yeah. Sorry, I'm reading the back. Oh yeah, From Software right there. So
it's like, come on, give it.
Yeah, this is Kingsfield 2. Focus.
There you go.
Okay. So it's a very strange, difficult game. I believe it is first person, isn't it?
Yes, it's first person.
It's a first person dungeon crawler.
Full of jank.
These are notorious for just being broken and difficult. So they had the first one in one of the stores, didn't they?
No, we saw the fourth one, Kingsfield 4 for the PS2 and two of the stores.
This one had the PS2 one also. I didn't grab it. They also had a steelbook for Bloodborne I didn't get. I don't know why. And what was the other one I wanted there?
The Bloodborne was that cool stuff. This one had the steelbook of Dark Souls 2 for the PS3.
Yes, that was it.
There was a lot of things we passed by on this trip just because we were trying not to spend everything at one time. But definitely gonna have to go back and try to see if they have some of these games.
Yeah, they had one game that I had to talk her out of buying, but
I'm going back to get it because they said they've had it for a while. I'm not gonna say what it is because I want it. Anyways, at the store, one of the games that I had managed to pick up is Rocket Knight Chronicles. This is just a platforming game that he looks cute, so I've been wanting to play it. I just haven't.
And this is the best version of this game.
Yeah, the version on the Super Nintendo, it's just super zoomed in, and this is supposed to be a fast-paced game, so when you have something zoomed in like that, you're not going to be able to...
It controls different on Super Nintendo too, doesn't it? Or it's slower or something?
I don't think it's slower. I think it's just the zoomed-in screen makes it feel a little different.
Yeah. The last thing I picked up, which is also one of the coolest things I picked up, every store we went to had one of these, minus Tower of Games. And I kept passing it up, and I saw it in the last store. I was like, I just gotta get it. But it is a figure of Mega Man. It's a pretty big figure too. He's like 9-10 inches, I think.
We'll put a clip in of him.
Yeah, it actually doesn't say.
A good comparison, I would say.
He's as big as my Bloodborne figures.
Yeah, if you have the Modern Icons Bloodborne figure that GameStop sold, he's about the same size as that.
He's also pretty much the same size as the Witcher statues.
Alright,
yeah.
And the last game that I picked up at that store, which it's in a little bit of rough shape.
It's gonna need a new case.
Which, PlayStation and these 1-disc games in 2-disc cases.
It's dumb. I don't know why they do this.
But I picked up a copy of Alundra 2 for the PS1. This is a game that I'll definitely end up upgrading in the future, but we still gotta find the first game. But I mean, we've been looking at this for a while, so.
Yeah, the guy in Vermont that we bought a lot of stuff from had one for a little bit, but it sold.
Was it 1 or 2? I thought he had 1.
I think he had both.
Yeah. Meh. So the last set of games that we have are a bunch of different pickups from eBay, some online orders, some fun stuff.
Some fun stuff.
Oh.
You'll see the fun stuff.
Oh. Here, I'll let you do that guy. But made an order through Double Jump Video Games. We watch their channel a lot, and they've been putting up a lot of interesting. Well, I mean, they've always had interesting stuff. It makes it a little bit easier with their website because you don't have to harass Abby as much to see if they have games still in the store. But picked up. Let's see if I can do this so it zooms in. There we go. Picked up Golden Sun and Golden Sun Lost Age. There you go. And another childhood game of mine that I had to get. Come on. Balloon Kid for the original Game Boy.
And also from them we got, I'm not going to pronounce that, but it's a Ys game.
Ys Arc of Nepotism, I believe.
Yeah. Nephistum?
No.
I don't know. I'm terrible at pronouncing things like this.
But yeah, like we said,
it's Ys.
Like we said in the last video, we're looking to start collecting the.
This is complete too, isn't it?
Yep.
Yep.
I think that came out of one of his buddies' collections, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, it's pretty clean. It looks like somebody's collector item.
But we've been talking about getting those. And
beautiful artwork.
Real quick, from the last video, I talked about this game. It was supposed to be in Abzu. It goes along the lines of Hour and Air and Journey, where it's just that peaceful kind of serene look at the art while you walk around kind of game. So finally got that in.
So also from YouTube, we watch a lot of Eric Landon. A lot of his videos, and he's been doing like a series of every RPG ever for certain systems, and we've been taking down some that we want to look into. Which
some of them we didn't even know was a thing, especially this one.
Yes.
It's so cute.
And this is like huge of my childhood and hers. Is Inuyasha and the Secret of the Cursed Mask. I love this series. This is an RPG.
Let me see.
Never even knew an Inuyasha RPG existed, and apparently there's multiple ones.
There we go. Look how cute the little chibi characters are. Oh my god.
But apparently there's also some on the, I think it's Game Boy something.
There's the DS.
Is it DS?
There's the DS, there's the fighting games on the PS1, which those...
I knew about the fighting games. I did not know there was RPGs.
Yeah. The last one we saw was on the DS.
Yeah.
And
as soon as we saw this, it was ordered.
Yeah. And like I did an Instagram story when I got this and the next game in. Like I said there, this actually is not fully complete because technically for it to be complete, there was a trading card that came with it. I didn't necessarily, like, yeah, I like having, fully complete games, but that's just one of those things I didn't necessarily care to have. I could have gotten it, but it was like $10 more. I won't pay $10 for a trading card.
No, I won't play the game.
Yeah, exactly. But the other game that I showed in that Instagram story, and this is why he's always being careful with these.
Yeah.
So, this is Mysteria for the Sega Saturn. If you recognize the cover but not the name, this was also released under the name Blazing Heroes. I can't remember in which way they, if it started as Mysteria and then went to Blazing Heroes, which that might actually be it, or the other way around. For some reason, they had to change the name at some point. But this is why. The bottom part of the case.
Yeah, and this one's cracked also.
It is. Oh yeah, holy shit. Well, I was planning on replacing it with a cheaper one.
These long box CD games, whether it be the Saturn, the Sega CD, or even the PlayStation variants, they just fall apart. The tabs are so weak on them.
Yeah. But I was going to replace it with one of the cheaper, it's funny to say cheaper Saturn games that we have.
And it's just not a very solid plastic.
No. But I decided to get this because me and my cousin owned a Sega Saturn when we were younger. It was originally his and he passed it on to me. And I've been trying to go through and collect a lot of the games that we had owned when we were younger, and this was one of them. And the last thing.
Well, you want me to do my last thing first?
Oh, go ahead.
Okay.
He wanted to show this off last video.
No, we didn't get this last video.
Yeah, we did.
Did we?
Yeah, because we got at the same time we got Last of Us.
Well, I got a lot of them I want to do, but...
Well, then we just need to do a whole Gundam video.
Yeah.
Or model video.
We're getting pretty big into model building and Gundams, and my birthday's coming up this coming Thursday. So, being the good girlfriend she is, she bought me a new model kit that I want, which is the Death Scythe Hell variant from the Endless Waltz Gundam Wing OVA. OVA.
I don't know if it was from the OVA or not.
Yeah, Endless Waltz was OVA. I want to get this whole set. I have the perfect grade of the Gundam Wing sitting over here in a box waiting to be put together.
Big boy.
And I'm pretty sure I have the tall geese over there also.
Oh, I think so. He might just
but it's an older version.
Buried.
So I'm looking forward to putting those together, get them on a shelf. I'm working on a Gundam Astray red frame right now. So I need to finish him up. He's really cool.
Okay. So the last item. So did you know you can get items from Japan in literally 2 days if you spend a crap ton of money on shipping? Especially when they weigh over 10 pounds.
Yeah.
The next item is something...
The good thing is, though, the shipping was included in the price, so...
Yes. Which...
It's not like we actually paid for the shipping, I guess.
No. Which it's good, because this thing's... It's absolutely massively heavy. The only thing I think that even compares to it is maybe the original Xbox. And even then, I don't feel like it's nearly as heavy.
Yeah. This is an item she's been talking about getting for a while.
Yeah, I've been wanting it for a while. Spawn Wave recently put out a video where he bought one, took it apart like he normally does. So I will show the manual off first. So as you see, managed to finally find a PlayStation X and get it shipped to me.
And the very yellowed remote.
Yes. Which, if you've ever looked for one of these, they typically are white. When I tried looking them up, I really only looked up the model variations on like hard drive size and all that. Well, I saw one listed on eBay and it looked a little weird. Like I'd never seen anything like this before. And I did a little bit more research, and apparently they were released in 2 different colors. They were supposed to be released in 5, but they only ended up being released in 2. They were released in the white variant, and they were actually released in a silver variant, which I had no clue of. This is actually one of the, it's 5100 series. So it has a smaller hard drive, and there's a couple other things it doesn't have, like the higher end models.
There it is.
But yeah, I've never seen a silver one. We've looked for sold listings, we could not find them. The reason why this was fairly on the cheap side.
It's been opened up before.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
The reason why this is on the cheap side is I did buy it used on eBay, obviously, but it does have damage to it.
Which we can show in B-roll.
Yeah.
It's not going to be able to show up on
the case, there's a clip that holds the case on. It's busted, so the top part of the case isn't held on anymore. And it looks like at some point somebody tried to shove this in a space that was way too small for the size of this unit.
Yeah. And
it kind of tapered in the back. Also, they did test it to see if it powered on, which they said it powers on. We haven't plugged it in yet ourselves. But, it does power on, but they did not test any games on it, so I do not know if the laser works. But even still,
we can do that.
I'm just happy to have this in one piece, and it's, other than the damage to the back and missing the
it's missing the
plate.
The plate in the back.
It's in really good shape.
Yeah.
Like really good shape.
It's just gonna be on display, so you're not gonna see the back as much.
And one of the other pieces that it's typically missing is this. Come on. This little drawer right here. Usually the hinges are cracked, and this is just completely gone, but it's there. And it's fucking heavy. Like, I still can't get over how heavy that is. I really can't. Because it's just massive.
Mm-hmm.
I'm excited. So, I'm going to plug it in and probably put in a little bit of footage of that. Hopefully of it running. Hopefully. Hopefully survive the 2-day trip from Tokyo. Oh god, I can't believe that still.
I can't believe it. When she told me that it shipped and the next day it was already in the United States, and like halfway across the United States, I'm like, how's that possible?
Yeah, so I ordered it on the 21st and they shipped it off on the 25th. It left the main airport in Tokyo. When I checked my phone, we got this Thursday morning, it was already in Cincinnati, Ohio. And then by lunchtime, it was in Baltimore. I've never, like, I still have a package from Play Asia that hasn't showed up anywhere, and I ordered it like 2 months ago. So, it's just, it blows my mind. It really does. But I guess we'll wrap this up, because I think that is, yeah, that's everything.
And the dog's getting antsy.
She's always antsy.
She's giving me a bath.
But yeah, that's everything that we got from our trip, and then a couple other pickups. So.
Yeah, it was fun.
It was a lot of fun.
Definitely need to do that again.
Yeah.
Once our bank accounts recover.
We just need to work a little bit more overtime.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll definitely have to make another trip down there. We're still working on some gameplay stuff. Hopefully have some of that out sooner than later. But other than that, just keep tuned, guys. We will have more stuff on the way.
Yep.
Alright. Thanks.
See ya.